All right, hello, everybody, and welcome to Lady Arcaders Attract Mode, a bi-weekly, as in twice a week, special edition of Lady Arcaders, where we see some amazing games run by some of the amazing arcaders themselves. My name is Jaypeg, and I will be your host, hanging out this whole time and giving some probably strange commentary along the way, just to make sure everybody's ready. I hope you do have your shoes off. Because there are no shoes allowed on this island. You will need to be barefoot. And on that note, we are going to have BigScared running the chant any percent. BigScared, are you ready? Do you have your shoes off?
I absolutely do. Let me just. There you go. There's your moment. The feet have been released. We are ready. There are no shoes allowed at this retreat.
Oh my
Hi,
God, feet
hello.
pics.
Yeah, I'm BigScared. I'm a queer variety caster here on Twitch. I play a lot of scary games. I'm part of the Clock Tower stream team. And today I'm running one of my favorite games that has come out in the past couple years, the Chant. Now, when I say favorite, I don't mean this game is particularly, tell people it's great. It's very fun. And I hope that y'all enjoy this run. It is glitchless, but it is technically any percent because there are no glitches. And on that note, time starts when I select into the difficulty, which will be in 3, 2, 1, and go. Socks are okay? I mean, that's up to you. That's dealer's choice.
I mean, you gotta keep your feetsies warm.
Yeah, we gotta keep them a little bit warm. But we'll notice that we are dropped pretty much immediately into this sequence. The person we're playing at is Babs. Babs is in the 70s. Okay, keep that in the back of your mind because we're gonna immediately forget it. Babs is a character that you will never see again because she only appears again if you get one of 3 endings. We will not be getting the ending where Babs shows up again. The part that's important to know about Babs here is that she's pregnant. She is pregnant. She's pregante. And her unborn child will eventually be our new cult leader when we meet him in 5 minutes. But the part that we skipped in the cutscene here is that Babs is the daughter of the previous/current, depending on how you think about time, cult leader. And he has opened a portal to another dimension using the power of crystals. Yes, crystals. And Babs decided at the very last moment, at the worst time possible, she was done and she wanted out. And so she's going to just jump into the water and we're never going to see her again. Meanwhile, in the present day, our protagonist of the actual game, Jess here, has decided to do some work on herself. Specifically, she is grieving a very old trauma. Her sister died when they were children, and she is at least partially responsible for that. And so at some point, she got in touch with her friend Kim, who's here, already shoes off, ready to just welcome us with warm arms to the retreat. Why am I wearing shoes? I just got here. Yeah, shoes on the rusty dock, no shoes on the beach, no shoes in the forest, no shoes in the mines at the old commune. You get used to it.
I'm happy for you, Kim.
This is Callus Island.
Yes. Yes. And there is something to say about the ability to run barefoot in all types of terrain, but it's a skill that you definitely need to build up to. I believe that Kim has probably been here long enough that she's got some calluses and can handle it, but Jess here is gonna take off her shoes and keep them off for the rest of the game.
We have some for you back at the camp.
This section of the game I like to refer to as the foot liberation chapter.
Watch yourself on the tree.
Because the goal here is to do all of our small little tasks and take her shoes off.
Did you remember to bring the letter? Yeah, but honestly,
I feel like starting.
felt a bit weird
Is
writing
the
in my
chant
future self.
in the name? Is the chant "Free the Feet"?
There's a box for it.
Like
I mean,
clapping "Free the feet, free the feet."
You know, it can be.
Isn't
It can be.
incredible?
I cannot tell you what the chant sounds like because I skip all of those cutscenes.
That's fine. So it's now free to feed.
Always make fun of my spiritual pursuits.
Can we talk about this
So
more
you'll
when
notice
you're
here that we're being stopped for dialogue,
I'll meditate
and
here
that 3
while you
meters
read the
pop
letter.
up on the lower left. The thing that you need to know about dialogue is that it is the primary mechanic by which we achieve an ending in this
must be
game.
it.
And what it does is,
guess we
depending
can
on
just
which selection
place
you
it
choose, it will lock you on a path for gaining experience towards one of those 3 meters. Whichever meter has the most experience towards it at the end of the game is the ending you get, mind, body, or spirit. I'm specifically aiming for the body ending because it has the shortest dialogue choices.
Relax. What's wrong?
Even though it's
There are
perhaps
flies everywhere.
not the best ending out
let
of
me
the
show you how
3.
to calm
My
your mind.
personal favorite is the
This is a
spirit
trick Tyler
ending.
taught me. Position your body
And we can talk
like
about that
this.
a little bit when we
Now,
get closer to the
breathe
end.
in.
But when it comes to gaining experience in this game, it's not just dialogue choices that matter. Every action you take
feel better.
influences this meter. The types of
this wasn't
enemies
such
you
a silly
fight, whether or
idea.
not you kill them, whether you run, what types of consumables you use, how many you pick up, any upgrades you get on your skill tree, which we will never see
So
because
you
I
asked
don't
me here to
upgrade on
help
this
you
run.
heal. What exactly
All
did
of
you
those
mean?
things matter,
Not just me.
and they all add a very small amount
we
of
both
experience towards those
I mean,
gauges.
she was your sister. It must have really
I would
hurt.
argue that
Yes, she was my
upgrading
sister,
and not
but it
upgrading
wasn't my
really
fault.
seems like in line
fine,
with,
Kim,
you know,
just
like a
leave it
cult
alone.
behavior. You're keeping it natural. You're not enhancing yourself. I think that is honestly a good thing to do. And
Sage grows
You
all
should
over
do
this
it.
Yeah.
island. Take
Yeah,
some.
it
I'm
makes
going to show
it
you
makes
a little
sense, but it's also
trick. This island is filled
interesting,
with
right?
natural
Because
wonders.
the
Let's get
upgrade
going.
materials, which we're never going to use, are called prismic crystals. We are literally taking
terrain
the
here gets a bit
crystals
rough.
into
What's
our
with the bare
body
feet, Kim?
that
Will it hurt?
bridge the
Shoes
gap
are
between our
forbidden
world and
in
the
the
other
retreat.
world.
Don't worry.
So the more
You'll get used to
experience
it.
you gain through that means, the more like attributes towards your gauge you'll get. Let's see if I'll get the dialogue skip.
Just stay calm.
I did not.
Kim,
Um,
you know I
there
hate
is a very
flies.
specific
I
line.
told
It's
you
very
I was
hard to
going to
hit.
teach you a little
Where
trick.
if you're coming up this hill at just the right
First, you need to
angle,
find some twine.
you don't get locked into this conversation. You can just keep walking. I think I've only ever got it once.
This'll have to do.
wine, as in just this plant right here.
Yeah, just the twine plant, no big deal. Here is
Will this
where
do?
we start to
Just
realize
wrap the
exactly
twine
what the
around
tone of
Sage.
this game is. We are making a sage stick to fight flies.
Oh,
Bugs hate it.
okay.
Disgusting.
Yes, we are fighting
get going.
flies with sage.
After you.
I don't know why, but we are. And this is our main combat mechanic. We're going to craft various iterations of burning herb sticks. One is sage, one is literally a burning twig called a fire lash, and the third one is a witch stick, which is a variation of the sage stick that has more spiritual power, quote unquote.
I am losing my
Kim?
mind at like the
Don't you have a
fury at
flashlight?
which she swung with the flies. Like there was
Yes.
so much rage.
Yes, yes. So the combat in this game is really funny because, and I say funny not in like a ha-ha way, but like in a that's an interesting choice kind of way.
Decisions.
Because, yeah, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. It's just this is a really interesting combat system that I was not expecting to encounter. It's melee only.
we
You can
almost
do
there?
heavy
I'm getting
attacks
kinda
or
hungry.
light
It's
attacks
just
with
up ahead.
with
Wait
the
until you
wielded
try
weapon of your
Maya's
choice.
cooking.
You'll also get throwables. And then on top of that, depending on how many crystals you've
Here we
collected,
are.
you will have
I
spiritual
told you it was
powers
amazing.
that range as
Kim.
broadly from the ability to
This lives up to
scream
your
real
stories.
loud to the ability to shoot spores at people to the ability to go invisible to the ability to summon crystals that damage them in like an area. We're only really going to be using 2 or 3 of these abilities, but they are phenomenal and they make the gameplay of this game really dynamic on a casual setting.
The others. Then meet me at my tent.
But we won't
I
quite
don't
see all
really
that.
know
Oh,
anyone.
No,
Everyone
we're
here
not
is
going to see all
friendly.
of them.
Just go.
So this is the errands portion of the game. We just got to camp, and we have to meet all the other NPCs.
Find those ingredients.
Maya here is our chef. She is a dancer. She's also processing grief. She lost her son because she didn't properly vaccinate him, and she's trying to process what that means. Sunny here is a entrepreneur.
I hear you're
He started the Spirit Ember Festival.
Jess, right?
Yeah.
And
You probably heard about the
his
Spirit
dad
Ember
is very
Festival
rich and famous. You should know who he
It
is,
was
don't
going
you
to
know?
ignite change.
And then the other two
Dad,
people who are here are Hannah and Tyler.
Pull the plug and let
Tyler is the baby that
Check
was
these
inside
Tyler and I are
Gregnant
going to
Babs.
Take my ideas
That's
and
okay.
All grown up now, looking just like Jared Leto. And then Hannah is a trust fund daughter and also Tyler's lover. So
I know.
Do they-
I know it's
the
not
full
deep.
gambit of stereotypes is present
watch my
here.
Do they
orientation
just
videos are
throw
all about
darts at
Let's
like
hear
a
Tyler's
wall of like Twitter main characters for me?
I don't know, but I hope they did. I truly hope they did. The characterization in this game is extremely strong. I like to say that everyone in here deserves what they get because none of the characters are particularly likable, but they are all endearing in their own unique ways. They're deeply flawed people that are working on themselves.
You know who's not here is there's not a chilly neighbor character,
No.
which means that she was spared from
Yeah.
the cold.
Yeah, just this time though. So here we are getting ingredients from Maya's tea. You'll notice that I'm gonna pick up an extra mushroom here. I'm also gonna eat it. The mushrooms give us spiritual powers. This is effectively our mana pool. The ginger refills our health bar, and then the lavender will refill our mind statistic. There is a sanity mechanic. Jess is prone to panic attacks, which give her faster movement speed, but it also makes her very vulnerable. If you get attacked while you're in the panic state, it's a one-hit down, and you will have to start the entire segment over. We're going to be using panic attacks. We are not going to be avoiding them. There's, I think, 2 points where that gets a little risky.
That is a lot of salt lamps.
Yes, there's so many salt lamps. All of them are meticulously well maintained. Here comes Tyler and Hannah.
I just want to make sure everyone is comfortable.
Oh, hey. We were just discussing tonight's
Hannah
session.
always
Are you ready for a
sounds
change?
like she is talking through one of those tin can phones from like the house
We'll
next
see you
door.
tonight.
And I don't know why this makes me so happy, but I just enjoy it.
Yeah, did she record her audio like in your neighbor's bathroom? Like,
Looks like the orientation.
I hope so. I hope she's my neighbor. I would love to meet her.
Open your mind.
based on
So-
this game, I don't know if you will, but
Yeah, I don't know. The fun thing about Sunny's video is we don't have to stand there and watch it. We just have to put it on the projector. And so every time we walk past that building, it will still be playing
Perfect.
at exactly the same point which we left it. So it's gonna have some dialogue that we'll hear
These are measured
periodically.
perfectly. Have you done this before?
Actually, I work in biomedicine. I used to spend a lot
Here's
of
where we
time
find
doing
out that
fieldwork.
Maya has very strong opinions about medicine. Unfortunately, she's gonna continue talking about
do
that,
that
especially when
Yeah,
we get to
doesn't
her
that seem wrong?
chapter.
I try to ignore that part of the
But
job.
the fun thing about that
You
is
should bring it up at one of our sessions.
it doesn't matter.
The Prismic Retreat encourages
Right?
all of
It's
us
all-
to
it's
face
all-
our demons.
It's all just her processing
on
herself, and we don't have to listen to
I really
anything she
should get
says.
back to Kim.
this is a you problem.
Yeah,
Well,
it's absolutely a her problem. We don't have to take her advice. All right, chat,
Hey, Jess.
get ready. We're gonna say goodbye to Jess's shoes for the rest of the game.
Show the
They're gonna disappear in
feet.
this cutscene.
Tyler
Show
left some
the
just in time.
feet.
Welcome.
So during this sequence of cutscenes that we're skipping, there is a ritual being performed where we drink the tea that Maya made that had the spiritual mushrooms in it. I'm sure you can understand
Where is
why that might be a problem.
It's fine. And look at our
No, it's-
sensible
it's-
women
Gotta
folk
find
now.
Kim.
Yeah.
everyone
At some point, Kim decided during that ceremony she was having a bad time, so we have to go catch her. For the rest of the game, we're going to be playing a prolonged game of tag with the rest of the cast of characters. We're just going to be running up on them, trying to find them, trying to help them, and doing various small errands along the way.
Away from her.
Kim's got a bad migraine right now, so she's going to be holding her head a lot and yelling about it. She's not having a good time. But before we get there, we have to do a couple very small fetch quests including some key assembly and an interaction up ahead where we will experience our first panic attack of the game.
Weak, Jess.
If you are sensitive to this, please take care of yourself.
Be real.
I like the little gloom jellyfish.
Yeah, the gloom jellyfish is really cool. Those are the entities. I think they're called mandaleeches because they will attach themselves to you and gestate a larger floral being. And depending on how big that floral being gets, it will turn into one of several other things.
Nice.
And depending on what it attaches to, it will turn into one of several other things. This is the ghost of our sister. She's turned into flies because reasons. She's gonna menace us for the rest of the game, periodically. I call her my sister bees because she's just buzzing around.
You're just running and you hear, "Why did you leave me?" as you're sprinting directly away from her.
Right? Why did you leave me? Because you're bees.
Yeah.
But I think that particular character is really interesting because it acts in a way that is reminiscent of other survival horror icons. So, like, if you're familiar with Silent Hill and you've played the classic Silent Hill 2, you'll know that if Pyramid Head shows up, like in the levels that are not boss areas, you're kind of going the right way.
Yeah.
When the bees show up, you are on track.
That's what I live my life by. When the bees are there, that's when I know I'm doing right.
Yeah, when the bees show up, everything's fine and you're doing exactly what you need to. Yeah, escape the horror to recover from the panic attack, yes. Now, these are the fully gestated floral beings. These are what create the smaller ones. They also turn into other things. They are beautiful.
You know what? This cult is growing on me because that's beautiful.
So, I will say, part of the reason why this game isn't particularly scary is because the gloom is represented in such a way that it's very enticing. It makes it believable why people want to spend their time there and give themselves to it, right? Like, if it's not scary, why would they want to be here?
It's you.
Right?
Don't startle me like that.
And so they also
It's her own fault,
have
okay?
some conversation about, like,
She
the
broke
beings
the
will
circle.
offer you things.
you
We'll get into
drugged
that more
us.
as the game progresses.
I
It
didn't
becomes more
drug
obvious.
That
Did
tea
he-
is 100% organic.
He didn't drug us. The tea was organic.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's not
don't know what
that's
to
how that
do.
works.
That is a
What should I do?
100% organic
my way.
spiritual mushrooms. There's nothing
You do
wrong
whatever
here.
you need to do, Jess.
We're not drugged.
No.
Whatever.
Whatever. I'm gonna grab this twine that is totally usable in its plant form.
Yeah. And doesn't need
Never
to be, like,
mind
dried
these drawings. Don't pay attention to these because we're never going to look at them.
It's fine. It's normal. This is perfectly
It's
fine.
perfectly normal wall stuff. We're just gonna grab this sage and come in here, and we're gonna fight our first mandaleech.
What is
Okay, that is sick. Love that.
Don't do a panic attack on me, you hater.
You drank tea, but he drank haterade.
Yeah, a tall glass of haterade. So we're in a panic attack state. It won't matter because it'll recover by the time we're out of this. The thing you need to know about those floral beings, not all of them are required to beat, but they are often blocking your objectives. So if you see one of those, you usually have to kill it.
Ah,
Whereas the cultists that we just saw here, most of the time you can just run by them.
There we go.
you just let me just scooch right past you.
Yeah, let me just scooch on by. I'm gonna go over here. Let me just go say hey to Kim. Now, chat, do you think she's okay?
Him?
Do you think she's okay?
There's some bloody handprints. She's just smearing tomatoes around. Actually, is what it
Yeah, she's having pomegranates for lunch.
Yeah.
It looks delicious. I hope she shares. They look so tasty.
is. I mean, that's what this is about, is sharing.
Yeah, sharing is caring. So in this sequence, we have to open a key door that is inside that room, but it doesn't really make sense to go in there unless you have all the pieces. So we have to run around and collect all the pieces. One of them is up here with these homies. They're having a little party. I'm sorry to interrupt. Don't mind me. I just scooch on by you.
Excuse me.
scooch on by you there. Thank ya. And you might notice that we have a stasis ability. That's because during the cutscene where we liberated our feet, we were also given a crystal of our own. Jess's innate ability is the power to stop time, or at least slow it down substantially, which is really cool, but we're not really going to use it in the speedrun because slowing down time is not the objective.
That's the opposite, actually. That's
It's
a
the
long play skill.
Yes, but it's important to consider this because at some point, this power will be used against us. Stay tuned for that.
Watching the cultist duck into the room you were just in, and you're like, oh, great.
Yeah, this particular cultist walks a path that leads us back up into that room, so that way, if you follow him, you'll know where you're supposed to go.
Awesome.
I did not notice him at all until, like, my 10th run of this game.
You're like, oh, you.
And let me tell you, I got all of the endings before I started running this game, so I had a substantial amount of playtime in it. Never saw that man until I started speedrunning. And then the world record holder who verifies on the board was like, how did you not notice him?
Like, I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know, and maybe I'm too busy focusing. Let me throw some salt at it. Alright, now we can go say hi to Kim. Kim is a special NPC here because we are actually going to take the time to purify her. We are going to depossess her. That does not mean this is going to be a fun or happy process, but this does mean she gets to live.
Are you okay?
No. No, I'm not okay.
She gets
Hey,
to live.
you did your contour.
No! Kim,
I know, she's sickening.
happening? They're inside me!
So, Kim here has a couple moves that are really troublesome. This one, oh, I dodged it. Beautiful. Get in the circle, Kim. This is a really bad Kim fight. Okay, one. We have to do this 3 times, and then once we're done smashing her face into these candles, we get to smash her face into the mirror. We're gonna purify her with fire.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, girl.
This is how you intervene with your friends 100%.
Yeah.
When they're having.
This is how you heal everything. Get in the. There we go.
I'm so sorry, Kim.
Don't worry. She's gonna be fine.
I love the thought that
happened
it's
to
like,
Kim?
this is purification. Anyway, slam!
Slam! Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna purify you with a concussion. So while Kim gets to have a nice little nap here in the dome, Sunny has decided that he's having a hard time. As you can see, this is how the game's gonna go for the rest of the game.
It's fair.
While we're dealing with whoever's having a hard time, someone else will have a hard time. Much like real life. Sunny here has caught a case of 300% facial animation. It's very unfortunate, it's very painful. But we do have to help him.
Sure. I have to make sure. It's my secret.
It's my secret. It's my big idea.
Going.
Yes, he's perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with him at all.
Sonny, he ran up the hill. I don't think he's okay, and we need his prism. But Kim's still hurt, and I can't just leave her alone.
It's all right.
Hannah, babe,
look
what's
after
going on
Kim.
with your eyes?
I'll get
where,
Sunny
where
back.
are you looking?
Careful. Take my
She's
flash.
got like 200% facial
Bestie.
animation. It's not as bad as Sunny, but she's very emotive. And I love that about her.
I mean, listen, if Sunny gets about 100% more facial animation from his 300, then he'll be at like LA Noir level, and so we need to make sure that that doesn't happen.
It's funny you say that. His facial animation will grow more powerful as this chase sequence progresses.
Awesome.
It cannot be contained. It's extremely painful. He's going to yell about it a lot. Realistically, what's actually happening here is he's becoming increasingly more and more possessed. But the way it expresses is through facial animation.
Do you think that they just had the like actor in mocap go absolutely like wild?
I hope so. I hope so. Look at him go. He's schmoofing.
Ooh, he's moving.
Look at him go. He's schmoofing.
He's got the zoomies. He's got the zoomies.
He's got the zoomies. It's 3 a.m. He's a cat. He's schmoovin'. So now that we have defeated Kim, we have Kim's crystal, which means we can traverse the orange gloom. You can only enter gloom patches with which you have a crystal for. So this is how the game funnels you through certain sequences. There is backtracking if you want to 100% this game. There's a hidden boss fight against a giant frog. There are multiple areas with hidden lore, and then there are multiple areas where you can just collect massive amounts of upgrades. We're not going to go to any of those because it's stupid. This dude likes to body block me a lot, so I hope we get lucky. He mind blasted me through the door. That was very rude. I have to collect this piece off the dead body. Don't mind him. He's just having a nap. Oh, thank you. Thank you for holding the door. Thank you. Oh, your friend's here. Thanks. Don't worry. We're gonna get introduced to a new enemy type here. This creature is what happens when one of those floral beings attaches to a human form. You ruined my life.
Oh, maybe he's friendly. Maybe he's friendly.
Definitely not. This enemy is my least favorite one in the whole game because it can pounce you. Oh, it's gonna give me the suck. It's giving the suck.
Oh,
Get out of
little
here.
kisses.
Little kisses. Mind attack too. Very rude. Okay, we've got the key of the lovers. That dead body belongs to Babs' former partner. He was on his way here to meet her when he met his untimely end during the ceremony.
Is that the reason that she dipped?
Partially, yeah. The other partial reason was she saw the monster that they were summoning. And, like, if you saw it too, wouldn't you?
That's fair. That's honestly fair. And you know, when you're pregnant, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, you gotta think about more than just yourself when you're pregante.
Mm-hmm. You know, these are the decisions that you make when you're pregnant.
Yeah. You look at yourself and you're like, am I pregnant? Am I pregnant?
See you with us,
Is there a possibly that I'm pregnant?
Annoying little sister, right? You didn't even feel sorry
I'm
when
gonna
I
get out,
died.
I'm gonna get out, not my lighter, but my, like, burning sage.
I'm gonna get out my burning sage,
and
yes.
swing it while you sing.
Yes. As you can see, we are through this door. This door is very important. We'll be using it several times throughout the run. I used to unlock all this and come through that room. But then I got feedback that basically amounted to, lol, why do you do that? And then I learned. I learned you don't have to go through there.
It's like, you know that's unnecessary, right? No, I didn't
No,
know.
I didn't. Thank you for telling me.
That's why I was doing it.
Yes, exactly. So Sunny here, he's also not wearing shoes. I want to remind you, nobody's wearing shoes. He has chosen to run into a mine/quarry. There is a new enemy type in here. It is insect-like. There are also several large frogs.
Oh,
We're going to be going on a fetch quest to find a bunch of fuses to illuminate our path because along the way, Sunny's going to snatch our flashlight.
Sunny, he's using it just so that he can get, like, a better spotlight on his facial animation.
Yeah, you see the lighting in here? It's terrible. He cannot even see how poorly his face is, you know, reacting to the new animation. He knows it's painful, but he can't assess the damage. He needs proper lighting.
It's true.
And so, you know, the only way to do that is to take our torch, which I respect.
And he'll definitely, in a little bit, just nicely hand it back to us.
Sonny, you're going to
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not without any violence at all.
No.
No. So Sunny, in his state to, you know, get good lighting, has accidentally broke the lighting. And by accidentally, I mean extremely on purpose.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's a bunch of fuses strewn about this area. We can just turn it back on. Don't mind this frog.
Frog spotting.
Do not perceive the frog. It won't even bother us. It's fine.
Just pop it with a fuse in there real quick.
Yeah.
That
I
is
think
how
there's-
fuse boxes work.
That's exactly how fuse boxes work. There's no extra maintenance that needs to be done ever on them. You just insert and go.
Mm-hmm. With your feet in the water.
Yes. Yes, with your feet in the water. Now, this frog likes to body block, but luckily we got good movement on it. And we go over here to our next fuse box. Those frogs, even though they're not locked in there, are just gonna vibe. They're gonna leave us alone.
They're frogs. I mean, that's what frogs do.
Yeah, they're hanging out. They're doing frog things. This frog, though, in this room, often gives me a big kiss. So, hopefully.
Oh, look at him.
I know. Look how cute this frog is. No kisses. No.
Oh, he tried.
No kisses.
He tried.
No kisses. Yeah, kiss-free frog zone. Let's go. Let's go. We pick up the fire lash and we keep going. Now at this point we have all the fuses we need to fix the final fuse up here. Now the question I have always had is why can't you just take that first fuse and bring it up here and put it in here? But, you know, we don't have a good answer for that. We just like the whole place to be illuminated.
You sometimes want to see where you're going, especially, like, Jess is newly barefoot. She doesn't know what she's gonna step on, so...
Yeah, and look at all these rocks.
This is, like, honestly, the biggest horror part of this game is the running barefoot on sharp objects, because that is my 100%, like, I'm out fear in real life.
Yeah, I have some tips for you. As someone who grew up in a rural area and was forced to spend a lot of time outside, I have some tips for those who would like to explore the great outdoors with no shoes on, because that's what children do sometimes. Walk on the balls of your feet, not your heels. Use ginger steps. Put a couple test steps out in front of you before you put your full weight down.
That's really smart. I do, like, and the worst part of it is all this comes because I got a splinter walking on, like, normal, like, around the pool brick.
Yeah.
Like, but mulch, nightmare. Like, walking on mulch seems like the worst thing in the world to me, so I don't know. If this game had a sequence like that, I'd be like, I'm out, I quit.
Yeah, tan bark is my natural enemy.
You're an imposter.
Stop following me. Come here. Come here. Good boy. No, no, no! Don't chase me. Don't do it. You're scary.
I mean, you said this was all going to be an elaborate game of tag, and right now, they're it.
Yeah, I'm it. They're, you know, they're gonna get me.
Sonny, you're bleeding. Stop this.
They went mad.
Now, the fun thing about these barred doors is that periodically you'll notice that there's just doors with bars on them. In a casual playthrough, you'll probably unbar all of these doors. But the magical thing about the speedrun is, once you hit the trigger for the story, the doors just automatically unbar themselves. So, as we can see here, Sonny did not unbar this door. In fact, the whole door was just open for him. And this will sort of happen every time we need a door that would be barred earlier in the game. So, for the speedrun, never unbar a door. Every door you need will be open for you when the time comes.
Beautiful and peaceful, just like the bees. Yeah, like, you know you're going in the right direction if the doors are unbarred and there are bees.
Yes. Imagine a world where you're just running through unbarred doors with your friends the bees. Okay, so this is a wait sequence. We've already pushed the button for the elevator, and now I just have to wait out the combat. You could reasonably defeat these enemies, but the thing about that is you will waste your supplies doing so. You can set traps on the ground using salt or essential oil. You can fight them using either your sage stick or your fire lash, and all of those things would grant you experience, which would ultimately help you. But since this is very well routed and an optimized run as far as pickups, using any of your stuff for this fight really, it puts you at a disadvantage later, because you will not have things you need for things like the final boss or the fight with the main antagonist later on.
That sounds important to be armed for.
Yeah, so we can just hang out. I like to keep them over here in this pocket while we wait for the elevator to pop up, because if we keep them any closer, they will stand between you and the elevator, and they will also punch you off of the elevator.
Oh, cool!
Alright, here it is.
Rude mind attack.
Now we wait. See, he almost got me. You almost got me.
That's disrespectful. They're trying to steal the elevator. Don't they know you can fit? Oh, cool, little mouth.
It's just like Titanic. You can fit more than one person on that door, and you can fit more than one person in this elevator.
Where the hell?
She's so
But Jess, selfish, rude,
She only thinks about herself.
shoeless. Only thinks about herself and her friends. One at a time, though.
Shared, but not this time. No way. So
Grab this sage.
Oh, I'm so happy. It's going to be great.
Now, as we can see, his face is very animated. It's attracted the attention of a friend.
Sonny, you good?
I don't know if Sunny's good, but he does have a friend.
You know what? That's all he ever really wanted.
Look at them. Aren't they friend-shaped?
Oh yeah, that is 100% friend-shaped. If Silent Hill has taught me
Friend-shaped.
anything, that is friend-shaped.
Thing off me.
That's what you
So
say about your
because-
friends.
Yeah, because Sunny has made a friend. We now have to go deeper into the
Fuse
mine.
of some kind.
We have to get a detonator and a piece of dynamite for that door, which is currently blocked. Luckily, it's really easy to find both pieces. We just have to come over here into the roach nest.
It's fine, there's like
These ones-
skittering things. Just put a cup over them and bring them outside.
Yeah, we need a very, very large cup. We need like an extra big gulp for these friends.
Home Depot bucket.
Yes, Home Depot 6-gallon bucket, an IKEA bag. That would work.
Yeah. Chat just said, shoeless behavior, everyone.
Yes. Truly shoeless. Feel it. My chakras. They're burning.
That is the best line.
It
my
is.
God.
It's my favorite line in the entire game. Sunny is my favorite character because he has just memorable one-liners.
He was talking about people's chakras being filthy before.
Yes, and he's gonna cleanse it with, you know, crystals for some reason.
Yeah.
Because then it didn't work before. So it's gonna work for him, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I mean, he's been telling
Yeah.
us this whole time he's better than everybody else. So,
Yeah.
of course it's gonna work.
Yeah, don't you know who he is? He started the Spirit Ember Festival. It was canceled before it could happen, but you should know about him. So what we're doing here is crafting up some stuff for this upcoming fight. Dipping our feet in, toes first. Now the goal here is to not get knocked off of this flower.
Can't imagine why that
Don't
would
go
happen.
in.
Oh, look at the roach just chilling, like waiting for
I
you.
know. Usually that one tackles me off of it. I'm really glad that it played nicely right now.
He just watched
knows-
you.
Yeah, it knows we're here on Lady Arcaders, and it celebrates the folks.
That's true.
Sunny boss fight time. I'm gonna use his active ability against him. But first, let me just smack his friend a few times in the face. It's fine, don't worry about it.
That's a funny shaped dog.
Yeah, isn't this such a cute dog?
I think it might be a Great Dane.
I thought it was a Dalmatian. Look at the multicolors.
That's true. Yeah, maybe like a mix.
Yeah, definitely a mix. Okay, so phase 1 of this fight is done. Now we have to deal with a couple ads. I want them to follow me over here. Come here.
Come here, puppy. Come here.
Boom.
Ooh, is that one of your new abilities?
Yeah, that's Sunny's power. He can summon crystals. Because he is a developer, right?
That's
You
true.
see?
That's true.
You see? It's all coming together. Kim's ability is the ability to use her voice. She's our best friend. She talks about her feelings, and so she can yell at us. Sunny, as a developer, gets the ability to build things. Maya, as a mother, makes spores. She has children.
You have got this all figured out.
Tyler, as the cult leader, has a grabby hands ability.
Oh,
He can literally restrain NPCs around him and bend them to his will, whereas Hannah can go invisible.
and we can just all write our own endings as to why they're able to do those things.
This fight is going really bad, by the way. Normally, you can use the cycle of the rhythm of battle, but I got bad spawn on the ads, and it threw off phase 2.
And I'm sure Sunny is fine now. We just, you know.
Yeah. He's fine. We're just never gonna see him again. Don't worry about it.
He's busy.
It's fine. He's busy.
He's busy. He's rebuilding the Spirit Ember Festival. That's what we didn't see in that cutscene. Is he's like, I have a new idea, and then he's fine.
Yeah, he's at the festival. He is the spirit and the ember.
That's so true. Can't believe we're gonna go to the Spirit Ember Festival.
Yeah, we're gonna go straight there. But first, we have to turn the power on at the water tower.
You think
Because the path back is blocked. There is exactly one story pickup in this game, and it's right here. And if you don't pick it up, the enemy that you need to fight will not spawn. This note is a children's note. It's a little girl talking about my daddy's crystals. My daddy's crystals. My daddy's crystals. My daddy's crystals. The double stun.
Ooh.
Is it gonna tackle me and give me the suck? Yes, it is. Get off.
Kisses.
Get off. No kisses. Get out of here. Oh, and you're gonna body block. That's fun.
Uncool.
Yeah, Crystal Daddy. So we have a lever. Now we need a cog to operate that windmill. Get out. You really gonna hit me with the wombo? Don't body block. Not the sister bees.
Oh god.
Oh god. No. Not the double. Oh, this is hold. We gotta kite them. We gotta kite them.
Juice.
We gotta kite them a little bit.
All right, we're good.
It's okay, we're panicking so we run faster. They can't catch us like this.
Ah, so it's like the Resident Evil remake where Claire runs faster at,
when she's hurt,
yeah.
Exactly. The downside is we cannot fight while we're in a panic state, so we have to use a lavender there. Normally we would want to use no lavenders at all, because the panic attacks are beneficial, mostly. But because we had to there, you know, we did. Oh, Sister Bees is in a very inopportune pace.
Oh,
it's okay, her bee-nado didn't touch us.
You know what? This game is just like real life. Sometimes there's bees.
Yeah, and sometimes they're your sister.
Does this generate power? Maybe I can get it to work.
Does this generate power? I don't know, Jess. It's a giant tower that has like power line.
Yes.
Yeah, it's literally hooked into the power system. I wonder if it generates power.
This is how levers work.
That works.
This is exactly how machinery works. Chat, have you ever done major engine repair? Now you have.
This game is training you for everything that you could possibly need to survive in the wild.
Yes. It is your roadmap to not only spiritual growth, to a holistic life well lived in the trades as an engineer.
These very yellow sticks on the ground.
Pick up this extra mushroom, grab the sage. Bear Boy doesn't notice me, we're good. Sister Bees, she noticed, it's fine.
Excuse me, Sister Bees.
And then there's a deer boy that sometimes run out of that building. He didn't even spawn today.
He didn't feel like showing up. He's like, you know what? They've been through enough.
Yeah, he's like, they body blocked enough. I don't need to be here. Now, I have a question for you, Jaypeg.
Yes.
Have you checked your butthole?
You know what? Not enough.
So real.
Not enough. No.
Because if you check it properly, you'll notice that there is a fast travel system inside of it.
You know what?
So we are taking a shortcut back to camp right now.
I feel so disappointed in myself that I haven't unlocked this ability. I'm embarrassed that I'm learning this live on air. I am so sorry. I will be making an apology video. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. But yeah, that's our fast travel system. It is very conspicuously designed to resemble that very choice orifice. And we're going to be using it several times throughout the run.
You could call it butthole-esque.
Yes. Yes. It's bootylicious even.
So true.
Was that Sunny and Jess?
So now that Sunny is,
Sunny had a fatal accident.
you know, he had a fatal accident. We have to take Maya to the lighthouse. Now, you might be asking, why lighthouse? The answer is because if we turn it on, we can harness the spiritual energy of this island to, like, undo
Should have
this.
come here. When Kim reached out,
I love how
thought this
clean
was
Maya is compared to how filthy you are.
I
What about you and
know.
this? After save
It's okay, it won't last
traveled
long.
through Southeast Asia to focus on my dancing.
But the thing about this ritual is she learned about it from a gloom creature that promised her that if she did it, she can bring back her son. So,
You know what? That's
Sounds
gonna
like
happen.
it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna
He
be
had a lot of
fine.
pressure. This is nuts, but he spoke to me in the gloom after.
Really? Did you see him?
I just heard his
Oh, I
voice.
couldn't get in front of
My
her.
brain knows
No.
things. I don't know what's real.
You can like cheeky squeeze
Real
past
enough
her
right
right
now,
there,
that's for
and she
sure.
gives you a very small
But
speed
what if
boost
the
forward.
gloom lets
But
you see
then,
something you want?
if you're in front of her and she tries to get to that door, she has to push you out of the way, so you lose all the time you get by getting in front of her.
You know what?
It's a pointless thing to do. It's just funny.
There's a lesson to be learned in there about cutting
Maya,
people
are you
in
there?
line, but I just don't quite know what it is.
Yeah, it's
was that?
perhaps obscured by all this gloom.
You're breaking.
Great. Guess I'm on my own.
I love all these helpful little signs with arrows that are like in places that you can't normally access. So who's coming over here?
Yes. Those are there for us as the player because there is no map in this game.
Great.
There's no map at all. There's no map online. Nobody has mapped this game. And so on your first playthrough, you will be lost. And you need those signs to sort of orient yourself as to the layout of the island and where things are in relation to the main camp.
If you stay
Yeah,
still
just like
long
in real
enough-
life.
If you stay still long enough to like things just spawn, or they all kind of have like set spawns.
So things have fixed spawn locations, but once they've spawned, they do have patrol routes. So for example, this guy that spawned right there behind me outside of the tent, if I were to hang out in the area, he would absolutely try to fight me if I left.
Got
And
it.
he would follow me around. But more or less the enemies are locked within their regions, so that flower in the other gloom patch cannot come over here, the flower in this gloom patch cannot go over there, the cultists largely cannot enter the gloom unless they spawn there. So, really the only one that will chase you across areas is the bees, which, as you can hear right now, have spawned behind me. They're chasing me currently.
That's fine. The bees can follow you.
Yeah, just like in real life, the bees will follow you sometimes.
That just means you smell good.
Yeah, you have something they want.
Yes.
This is our last frog of the game that we're going to interact with.
Oh,
I
bye,
hope they
frog.
play nice.
Oh.
Got a little kiss, but that's okay.
That was a goodbye kiss.
Yeah, a little kiss for the road.
Oh, so sweet.
Just a little kissy. Now, if we get good luck here, the bees will be inside the room. You might say, why is that good luck? The answer is, they won't be in the doorway, and we won't have to wait for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Frog kiss. Mwah.
A little smooch from the frog.
And you're like, with any luck, and then the bees immediately were like, oh yeah, we're gonna fight. It's like, okay, so maybe not quite what we wanted.
They always want to fight. And the thing about the bees is when you encounter them directly like that, depending on your proximity, they're going to do one of two attacks. They're either going to lunge at you the way Angie did there, or they're going to do the bee tornado thing that they did when I encountered her last time. It's really hard to predict which one it's going to be because the starting of both animations looks very similar.
Which one it's gonna be?
Yeah, which one it's going to be when she buzz at you.
Maya, yes, I can hear you. Where are you?
I'm on my way.
This
I'll be
part
there as
is
soon as I
very
can.
cool, but it's also tricky because sequence matters. When I first started running this game, this section of the game from the start to the end of the lighthouse sequence would take me about 45 minutes by itself. Now it takes me closer to 20. So there is a lot of room for you to either gain or lose time depending on your actions here, what you pick up, how badly you get body blocked by enemies, whether or not you remember to pick up a particular key or kick down a ladder, or if you point the laser correctly, because sometimes you think you pointed it right, but then you overshot it and you have to go back and fix it. This area is one of the largest variables in a run.
Maya, did you come by a statue of... What is that thing?
Chat asks if the bee-nado is more dangerous than a sharknado. I think that's subjective.
I don't know,
If
but
you're
I want
allergic
the
to
sci-fi
bees,
movie about
on my
it.
way.
I want the C-rate sci-fi movie about it.
I want the straight to sci-fi channel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I want that version of bee-nado. And I want it starring, you know, our sister bees.
She could audition. She could do that.
Maya, where
Are you on land or in the water? Is an island in the water?
Yeah, so we are at a coastal island in a remote location that is semi-tropical, and so during high tide, during this sequence, yeah, we're gonna be a little bit in the water. We're mostly on land, though. Like, we will be getting our toes wet in this section.
I mean, your feet are at least getting cleaned for all the barefoot running that we're doing.
They are not getting cleaned because there's no scrubbing, there's no soap, there's no friction. They are simply being moistened, which I would argue makes them less hygienic.
But is it salt water? You
Yes.
could make the argument that salt is at least slightly cleaning. I mean, if you ask me, like, hey, will your feet be cleaner if you dip them in pond water or salt water? I would say salt water like 100 times out of 100, probably.
I think it depends on how stagnant the water is. Right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's stagnant, either way, it doesn't really matter.
Hey, Maya, I found what looks like a
Okay,
workshop.
so to get the lighthouse working again, we need to pick up mercury. As you know, mercury is a metal. It's an element. It has some certain properties that don't necessarily go well with people when it's not contained and transported properly. You are not supposed to make contact with mercury. Fun fact, this container is leaky, and so we are hallucinating.
Cool.
What do you mean, Kim? It's Maya. What's going on?
I don't know. I thought I heard Kim. Don't worry about it.
I was thinking that, like, knowing how this game works, that you were just gonna, like, scoop the mercury up in your
What do you
hands and just...
How did you get here?
You know, I would almost believe that. Like, Jess here with her very limited engineering knowledge, she's learning on the job.
got the
She seems like the
mercury.
type that would just scoop the liquid mercury into her hand and then try to pour it from her palm into the machine. But luckily the devs realized how silly that would be and they gave us a canister for it.
Just be careful. Yeah.
I'm having nightmares. Jess, please help me.
No, Kim.
So,
Doing my best.
as we can see here, Jess is having some interactions with Kim, who is still concussed and unconscious. It's questionable whether or not any of this is actually happening, but it doesn't really matter, because it's going to end in like 3 seconds when I push this button.
Okay, here we go. This better do the trick.
Now, we can configure the lighthouse.
And we've de-blurred. That's just what happens.
Yes.
Woozy now.
Yes.
All right. Can you rotate?
It's working.
You got it.
Alright, almost overshot that, but we're good.
Thanks, laser. This is what lighthouses do, actually. They don't cast lights so that, like, ships don't crash into your island. They shoot lasers.
Yeah.
Little known
This
fact.
is special lighthouse. So instead of giving us her crystal, Maya put her green crystal into the lighthouse. And that's what produced the laser.
Jess, about what happened earlier.
Now she's going to talk about her son.
I totally
um,
understand. Let's
you know,
just focus on the beacon.
We can just talk over her. It's fine.
Jess, I saw Siva in there. Do you think it's
She
really
thinks
him?
he's there. He's not there. We all know he's not there.
Don't go in there again if you don't have to.
Don't go in there
I
again
did
if you
see
don't have to.
something
But my
before
son.
he vanished.
Yeah.
Also, how did she get so dirty in the 5 minutes we left her alone?
She rolled
Focus on
around.
this
I
to
was
save
like,
Kim.
she just rolled around for a while. That's what you do.
Yeah. What you didn't know is that Jaypeg is here hacking the game files.
Mm-hmm.
And she has taken the camera into the lighthouse while we're not in that segment. And she has exclusive footage
Yeah.
that is not at all fake in any way of Maya rolling around in the mud.
Right.
Hey, don't.
But if you want to see
Troll.
it, my email is broken, and my messenger is broken, and my text messages are broken, and my Twitter is broken, so I'm not going to be able to
No,
post
you
it.
know how you see it? You engage in prismic science, and then it's revealed to you in a dream.
Yeah, you have to, like, read my mind, and then it's definitely in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd do anything for him. I love him so much.
Now, she would do anything for her son,
Place.
except vaccinate him. Yeah. Maya is arguably my least favorite character for these reasons.
I mean,
His spirit.
she talks a big game, and she'll run into gloom for him, but she won't vaccinate him.
Yeah, she would do anything for love, but she won't do that.
It's like to have to live with the knowledge that you
I can see her wearing that exact thing on a shirt. What? I would do anything for love, but I won't do that, and it just shows like a little like syringe.
Yes. So, we have two paths to navigate here. This is what I refer to as the beach path, since we're going to go down onto the beach and get our toes wet. Once we're done on this beach path, we're going to have to come back up the hill and go up a path that is full of combat. You asked earlier, are we in the water? The answer is now, yes.
Tell you something.
We are in the water.
What is it?
I haven't made peace with what I did to save
We
I'm
noticed
not
that,
sure
Maya.
I can fully understand.
Yeah.
But I know
We
it must have
think-
been awful.
There's no subtext with Maya. She's very verbal about her shortcomings and regrets.
You know what?
It's not like Sunny, where he just complains about his face hurting all the time.
I mean, his face doesn't hurt anymore. There is that.
True, it doesn't hurt anymore. We've relieved him of the burden of his face. Now, this friend here will spit on us if we stand too still. It's very rude.
He made like a little paw. Also, I swear it looks like Jess's hair is getting bleached as this game goes on.
Yeah, as you sort of progress, Jess has some really interesting lighting things happen because she is lit one way and one way only. And so the darker it gets, it doesn't matter. Her hair still has daytime sunlight on it. Is it evening? No, it's not. She has daytime reflection.
She's thriving. She's hydrated.
She's so moisturized that she reflects the light of the moon.
That is why you
Now-
wear your SPF, babes.
Yeah, wear your SPF. Don't be like Maya. Don't be like Jess either. In fact, don't even go to this island retreat. I think you've seen enough by now to know that this ain't the play.
I don't think so.
But they didn't drug you. They didn't drug you. That was
No,
bad.
it was 100% organic tea.
That's how that works.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works.
You might be
Now, you might be a doctor, but Maya knows more than you.
what you say.
The fact that the line at the bottom, like, the companies are influencing what you say, it's like, whose Twitter did they pull this directly?
Right?
They just went to like a generator of like, they just we fed all of these tweets into a machine, and then there were
ChatGPT in action right there. Grab this ginger, because the one pickup you want to consistently grab throughout this run is ginger. You don't want to grab any lavender. You usually won't need it. Mushrooms, only grab them if they're like on the way. Ginger, grab it every time, and if you have to and you can use one, because you're going to be picking up more. You might ask yourself why. Why would you do that? Because that's your health bar. And the more ginger you eat, the more health you have, which becomes important because we're not upgrading otherwise. And you don't want to die in one hit to the final boss later on.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be bad.
What was that?
I'm gonna grab this witch stick.
You don't get to decide what's good for him.
Maya, are you good?
Maya is not good. She's the opposite of good.
She is dehydrated, unmoisturized.
Just exhausted.
Not in her own lane.
No, she's in everybody else's lane, unmoisturized, unfed, unwatered. Chat, have you hydrated lately? Have you stretched? Are you in your own lane? If you can answer yes to at least 2 of those questions, you're doing better than Maya.
Oh, maybe he's friendly. He's wagging his tail.
I guarantee you he's not friendly. He's not friendly, and we just got trolled a little bit there, but that's okay.
Oh, rude.
Now, we have to continue along to the next beam. At this point, it becomes obviously a little tricky to remember which one you're working on because there's so many beams. But if you follow the trail, it all becomes revealed to you.
Beautiful. Just follow the path. Sometimes there's bees.
Yeah, sometimes there's bees. Sometimes there's these.
Now, whenever I see a person with, like, sacred geometry tattoos in real life, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, you got tattooed like one of the doors in the game The Crypt?
Prismic science! Now, you might notice that I dodged there. It's because when they do the illuminated attacks, they are unblockable. And unless you dodge, you will take a lot of damage.
That's
Can you
less
stop
than ideal.
trolling me, please? Can you stop trolling me, please?
Oh, he's screaming. He's screaming. Babe, we're yelling. Keep your voice down. This is a peaceful island. There's no need to scream like this.
Is that it?
Now, you might be wondering why I fought those enemies instead of just doing the crystal. If you don't do the crystal, it takes less time to fight the enemies. If you touch the crystal and those spore things spawn before you fight the others, they are going to constantly smack you and interrupt your, like, attacks. I initially thought it might be faster to trigger the spores and just, like, tank my way through it. I was horribly wrong.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I know. Rest in pepperonis, my old time.
I mean, these crystals are pretty cool looking, though. Like, there is that.
The aesthetic is fantastic. I understand why people come here. I just don't want to come here.
That's fair. That's how the cults get you. It's not the, like, linen clothing. It's not the organic food. It is all the vibes and the aesthetic.
Yeah. It's 800% the Instagram photo op.
Mm-hmm. Even though there's probably not Instagram allowed here. But that's not important right now.
Yeah, it's not important. Oh, earlier, I forgot to mention, when we mailed the letter, by putting it in that barrel, that was the quote-unquote post office of the island. A barrel on the side of a cliff.
Nice.
I'm done.
It definitely gets to where you want it to go.
Yeah, it's definitely not just going in a barrel on the side of a cliff. Alright, here comes Maya. She's a little spicy, so I'm gonna yell at her.
You know what? Proud of you, Maya.
Where'd she go? Okay, that's phase 1. I'm gonna grab this ginger. Give me the ginger. Give me the ginger!
Sentences you will never hear Jaypeg say for 100. Because, I would die on this island. I don't like ginger.
I don't like ginger, but it is our health mechanic.
That's true.
Like, if I had to eat ginger and I was on this island, I guess I would just die.
Yeah. Or, you know, you would see some of the things that you're seeing and be like, you know what, never mind. I will fork this down real quick. My mistake.
Well, I think, realistically, I would probably go all in on lavender. Like, if this were me, and I had to choose between, like, am I gonna just imbibe copious amounts of lavender, copious amounts of questionable mushroom, or copious amounts of ginger, I'm gonna take the lavender.
Yeah, especially just, like, lavender, like, cookies and stuff like that. Really, really solid. Like, I don't know if you've had, like
they hit, yeah.
Like, lavender macarons and stuff like that. 10 out of 10. They're definitely on this island.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where they're made. So you might notice that I didn't fight her down there. That's because our next crystal is up here, and we want to make sure that we're in a good position to speed this up. Because otherwise you would be running up here, and now we can just laugh at her while she takes a while to fly into place. Haha, you little slow one. Take that.
You know what? I have a question for Maya. Is it the vaccines or the lack of vaccines that's making her able to fly?
You know, I thought it was the love of motherhood.
That could be. Chat, what do you think?
So, the pragmatic answer here, right? And we're getting really bad spawn on these spores. Oh, no, we're not done. We're not done. There's another wave. Is because the cultists have different enemy types, the bosses sort of reflect their designs. Do you remember the enemy that I pointed out was like, that one's gonna spit on me? Mm-hmm. She was flying. And so, like, there's some implications of, like, what type of cultist they are. She is a deer. Because deers fly, right?
Yeah, that's what
it makes total sense.
That's what deers do.
That's what deers do.
Coming from a place that, like, I grew up in a place that had a lot of deer. Yeah, sometimes you just see one flying. That's perfectly natural.
Yeah. You don't look directly at them, and don't look back at them when they start flying, though. For your own safety.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Oh my gosh, Valeria Hysteria is so right in chat. Santa's reindeer.
True. The truest. Now, chat, I have a question for you. I've asked it to Jaypeg. I'm going to ask it to you. Okay? I hope you're ready. I hope you know the answer. Have you checked your butthole?
Have you checked it lately?
Have you checked it lately? Have you taken care of it? Have you navigated a fast travel system using the power of your butthole?
Now the question is this her butthole? Who on the islands is this? Or is it the communal?
So, it's a complicated answer, right? This is the gloom, so it's blinking at us, right? That is a spiritual butthole. It belongs to everyone, and no one simultaneously, because it's not human, necessarily. It just is.
Traverse the spiritual butthole. I remember the first time I had to do that.
Yeah, you never forget the first time you traverse the spiritual butthole.
Also, you're welcome for the clips and the quotes from this. Everybody.
We do.
Welcome to Lady Arcaders.
Thank you. I'll be here all next 30 minutes.
I meant to ask you, are you and Tyler, together?
So here is the part where we have to do a little shh. We have to do a little crime. We have to do a little shh. A little sneaky thiefy. Specifically, we have to break into Tyler's ear here and steal his crystal.
What do you want?
Tyler, come out of there.
I'm not going anywhere with you. You've already gotten 2 people killed.
Ah, we're blaming our girlfriend.
Hannah, why are you letting Jess
No,
run
he's supposed to be
rampant?
pointing at Jess, but because
You're right. She's just a
I'm
bit
way
stressed.
out of the
Don't worry
box where I'm
about it.
supposed to be standing, he's pointing at nothing right now.
See if you can find the prism.
I've gotten 2 people killed. He's referring specifically about Sunny and Maya.
They're fine. They're both fine. Maya flew away.
Yeah. She evaporated into a cloud of her children. And Sunny is vibing in the mines with 8,000% facial animation. He's turned into a part of the texture.
Jess killed
He's
Sonny.
actually like programming with his face. That was actually like his development.
Yes. Yes.
Facial programming.
The only one brave enough to do anything about this.
He
So the
twitches
thing
his
I
eyelids.
find-
It's a whole line.
She risked her life at the lighthouse.
Yes. Narratively, I find this sequence really interesting because it implies that Tyler does not wear the
I'll be back
crystals.
soon. I promise. Jess.
Why is that important narratively? Because the crystals store
get the
your
prism?
energy that you,
I have it.
the powers that Jess
be
gets to
pissed.
use is
What now?
because the wearer has
We have to
worn
get
them
the
for
mask.
so long that
It's
their
at the old
energy is
commune.
now inside the
The old
crystal.
commune?
Tyler
What's that?
doesn't wear his
another
crystal,
group here.
which means that the
70s.
power of the
They lived in a
crystal
commune.
actually is the power of the previous owner, who was his grandfather, Monroe, the man who was
what is
chasing
the
us when we
story
were
of you
playing
and
as Babs earlier.
Coming out of a messy break.
Back when we were
Ugly.
Back when we
Pregnant.
were pregnant, yes. All the way back then, when we were pregante.
We just kind of clicked. He made me feel whole again.
Now, before this game was patched, you could wait down at that door. But now you have to wait here. Because if you go over there, she won't start talking.
Is my
Great.
prism doing this? Jess.
She'll just
Jess,
stand here and wait for you to
I
come
can't
back.
leave.
Is there another way?
It's called the Spirit Trail. Tyler said he came out this way to get the mask, but some creature drove him back. Just listen on your radio. I'll let you know when I get there.
She got trapped in a crystal like Zelda and Ocarina of Time and every other game where somebody gets trapped in a crystal that I can't think of right now, but it's definitely a gaming trope. That is
Now
how
here's
I
another
crawl.
area where practice on the run has taught me a lot. I used to make a very long loop where I would go down the hill to the right and then down through this crack and around. No, you literally come through one door, you come through this door. You do not have to use the shack. Please stop laughing at me. I don't do this strat anymore.
What's up?
I've just been thinking about Tyler.
You just come straight down the hill and you can progress.
That he never cared about me.
Oh my god, Hannah,
Tucker's
now is
been using
not the time.
Yes.
say how much you
Hannah,
cared, but
because she's being exposed to the
definitely been very
gloom,
convenient.
is now hearing whispers from within it, and they're going to exacerbate her insecurities. Hannah, as someone who really likes having friends, will, for the rest of the time we know her, do that thing that sometimes people do when they're having a hard
right,
time
Hannah,
mentally,
I'm
where they're
here
like, do you like
at the
me?
Spirit
Do
Trail."
you really like me? Did they ever like me?
Why is there so
It's just all self-talk. So she's having a hard time. At the same time, Tyler's sort of monologue is all like, do you know who I am? I'm so cool. This is all real. And I'm like, shut up, dude.
Look at this place.
This is that couple that like you like the one person is texting you like, I don't know, like, do you think that they're serious about me? Do you think that they might propose? And then the other one is just like, I can't believe that they want this much. Like, this is that
Yeah.
couple.
No, when I first started playing this, I compared them a lot to Elon Musk and Grimes.
Oh my
Because
god.
they have that energy of like, she's a manic pixie dream girl and he's the entrepreneur with the like resources in the private island and they're together.
It is invincible.
That's very true.
So fun fact, if you try to fight
you
that
there?
creature at all, it's just a waste of time and resources. It really is invincible and it will be back later to chase you.
All of our voices.
So
On a
really
normal
just resource
playthrough,
drain.
Yeah, it's just a resource drain. On a normal playthrough, you'll probably walk up to the door first and notice it's locked and then be forced to turn around. But if, as you enter the sequence, you simply just turn around and look up and walk backwards, it'll spawn so much faster.
Great. That's how that should work.
Yeah, if you turn around, walk backwards, and look up, enemies will make themselves known.
Jess, over here.
It's the secret code.
Hannah.
It's a
Amy,
life lesson,
I'm
truly.
glad you're okay.
She's
Jess,
gonna ask us for some
I'm so
relationship
stuck with
advice.
Tyler. What should I do?
And we're gonna tell her to leave him.
Just walk away.
You know what? I think I'll do just that. You ready to go find the mask?
Yeah.
Do you
I'm
think
ready.
she's actually going to just walk away, though?
I 100% do.
So we
She's
got
definitely
Tyler's
feeling
prism,
empowered and
we're
thriving.
getting the mask.
Yeah, she's
Think we can help
moisturized.
Kim that way?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the prismic energy that has her in that state. With the mask, I think
What
we
kind of
can
lotion do you
rechannel
think that they
energy.
use here?
He had said that a few days ago. I had seen you were insane.
This is
I
it.
think it is a
Fuck. It's been massive.
composite of ginger, lavender,
See the large
and
dome over
natural
there?
botanicals.
That's where we're going. The way down's over there.
Natural botanicals in quotes.
Yes,
This used to be some sort of
100% organic,
What did they grow?
free-range
Pretty
plants.
sure they grew psychedelics too.
What other buzzwords can we
Tyler
throw
used
in
to come
there?
here to harvest them.
GMO free?
Oh gosh, what are some other ones that are like,
It's
like, or like
It's crazy how
oxygenated,
fast the plants have grown
like
since the roots.
Oxygenated,
do we do
yes.
Look around, see if you can find anything
Antibacterial.
useful. I'll check around here.
Okay, so we want to pick up the key first
Hey, Hannah,
always.
there's
It
no
makes
way through here
menuing
either,
easier.
but I found a key.
While we're here, we grab the crystal plant, and on our way back through, we're going to grab this toxic plant. We're going to wait to grab the other two until we come back to the
What did you
greenhouse.
find out?
Because
Those
we do
glowing
have to leave the
plants,
greenhouse
they
to
grow
get,
back as soon as you
surprise,
cut them.
another
You see
cog.
the irrigation system right behind you?
who could have
Shocker.
foreseen
Pouring the right
this?
mixture in will kill the
Shocker.
plants.
The right mixture? Well, do we know what it is?
This note explains
Hannah
it,
is
but
also
I'm not
so
sure I
clean right
understand
now,
it.
so
Can you take a look at it?
be-
Yeah, even her feet.
This
Her
is
feet are
pretty
pristine.
cryptic,
I will be
but
free
I do think
camming
I saw something
and
along
watching
those
for when
lines.
Hannah gets
Pretty sure
dirty.
the symbols
Uh,
represent some
yes.
plant or chemical.
Please, interrupt me
Maybe I'll post
the
it.
moment Hannah gets dirty.
It's just like a
We
random-
need to know. We'll make it Dirty Hannah %, and it'll be a category.
Yes.
This is a joke. I don't have power over the board, but I wish I could.
That would be pretty sick, is like to just come up with like a random arbitrary category for this, which is just how fast can you get all the characters to their dirty states and then be done.
Yes, yes, filthy %.
I mean, is it Dark Souls 2 that has soup %? Like, we can make this
I
happen.
think so, yeah. But realistically, like, dirty % would be everything until the final boss, because that's when... Spoilers, I'm spoiling it now. That's when Hannah's gonna be dirty. She's gonna be dirty at the final boss fight.
Can't believe this
But-
would happen.
I know. How dare she ever get filthy? Don't get trolled? Alright, we didn't get... Oh, we're getting trolled! We're getting trolled!
You know, at the same time, in chat, we have thinking we could have just had BigScared's avatar on their feet this entire time. Yes!
We could have, yeah. Except you would miss my riveting, oration being accurately modeled.
Yeah.
So we grab the spiky plant, we grab the extra sage, and then we come over here and grab the odor plant. I call it the stinky one. And then
stinky boy.
at the machine, we want to mix it so that way it's stinky. Oh, I fumbled it. It was supposed to be stinky toxic, and then the other two. But since I fumbled it, I have to pick up the plants. I made mulch instead.
Stinky, Toxic, and the other two. I think that is the cast of How I Met Your Mother.
Dang!
I haven't even watched that
So
show.
true. Justice for Robin.
The
Okay, so stinky toxic, and then the other two together, glowing crystals.
Better work.
And then you put the whole thing in there. Come over here, use our new piece of technology.
It's like red and gray.
Look, Jess, the plants are dissolving.
I also accidentally ate one of my mushrooms there, so
that's
It's
fine.
clear now.
Hannah,
Yeah.
Just
you've
a
been
little,
around
just
for
a
while.
little
I was wondering,
non-hallucinogenic
How did
snack.
Kim get involved in all of
yeah,
this?
you
Same
know,
as everyone, I think.
completely
Tyler
organic,
yoga.
not at all
We
drugs.
use that to get inside her head.
Did he do that to a lot of people?
Yeah, that's another good
We
tip
are
that
good
this
at
game.
plants, yes.
That's another good tip that this game gives is if you find a mushroom in the woods, you should eat it.
Inner circle. Those who
Yeah, it will never go wrong for you. Legally,
Sorry.
this is perfect advice that smart people should follow. Please do not take me literally here.
we're all so eager to be in
Yeah, it's like, hey, just so we're all aware, don't actually do this.
Do not what any of that is
I'll be fine.
suggesting.
Okay, let's both try to make our way to the large dome at the end.
Sounds good.
I just love the illumination on Jess's hair here.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler here. Remember his name. He's important. Tyler Anton is the most important character to ever exist.
How many times are we gonna see Tyler again?
Once in a cutscene, we'll skip.
Cool.
This is way too shady.
Yeah, that's obviously the most important thing. We need to find him.
Oh, wait, no, twice. We'll see him again during another tag segment in the very late game where he is getting a very interesting procedure. We'll use that word. We'll use that word. You'll see when we get there.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll all be
okay?
fine.
Are you safe?
This is a very healthy healing cult.
Yeah. We are at the part of the game where we have to ponder some orb.
I'm on my way.
Unfortunately, get out of the way. There are 6 orb, and before we can ponder, we must collect.
You know what? You are full of incredibly wise sayings. How much time have you spent at this cult? Plead the fifth.
No, my actual playtime in this game is 30-something hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not that much, comparatively. I have like 200 hours in Resident Evil 2, which is another game that I speedrun. So, comparatively, this one is not a hard game to pick up, but it is a tricky one to master. So you'll notice that I ran right up on that enemy. And the reason why you want to do that is because if you take any more distance on it, it will pounce you.
Cool.
Or slap you just absolutely silly. So you want to get close enough that it does the abrupt turnaround and you can go in on the other side. Now I'm going to take the panic attack here so that way I can outrun its laser beam. Yes, it has a laser beam attack. And then we're going to stand here and wait for Hannah to hand us her prism in the slowest possible way.
You gonna be okay, Hannah? I think so.
Hannah, babe, I need you to hustle.
Like for you.
I need you to
Let's
hustle.
not talk about it. Yeah, let's not waste our energy. Anyways, we
Yikes.
still have to find a way to get the mask. It should be through the door behind me. I just can't get it to
Now,
match.
I mentioned earlier that
figure it out.
dialogue choices impact what ending you get.
Okay,
There are 3
but at
basic
least take my
flavors:
prism.
the
We'll need it
mind
to access the other side of the commune.
responses, the
Thanks,
body responses, and the spirit responses. Mind responses are the like
Nice that you need me.
kind and understanding, but not like placating. They're considered more neutral. The body responses almost always are dismissive and curt, and the spirit responses are very much just buying into everything and becoming one with the cult here. So in the endings you get, that plays out as well. We're going for the body ending, which is the denial ending.
We're being rude.
The spirit, we're being rude to everyone. We're just gonna go back about our lives and pretend none of this happened. In the spirit ending, Jess very much drinks the Kool-Aid and becomes a full-fledged member of the cult. And you might be asking yourself, okay, but when though? The answer is 1970. She goes back in time. And for the spirit ending, they just kind of leave and it abruptly ends. It's hard to explain. It's very Lovecraftian, and it sure is an ending.
There were choices made. The game ended.
Why did you click on the door? Why did you do that, Jess?
She felt like it.
She really said, I want to just rub up on this door frame for a second. Yeah, it's one of the endings of all time. It sure is an ending. My personal favorite is the spirit one, just because of how, like, unhinged it is.
Because it's just like, yeah, okay, I guess you're back in time.
Yeah, like, she literally wakes up on the floor and you're like, oh, this was all a dream. But the person waking her up is Babs.
Oh, and they're just like, yeah,
Right?
that happened.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no.
Oh, that's beautiful. That it's just like, hey, remember me?
And then like Jess just absolutely breaks, you know?
That is.
But this one is much more in line with like, I refuse to work on my trauma and this is the ending I get. Right? Because we can't forget why we're here. We are here to heal the trauma of killing our sister on accident.
You can almost feel
We didn't kill our sister on accident unless we accidentally squished one of the bees. The sister
Maybe
bees are
100,
definitely
maybe
here.
more.
So, in one of the many cutscenes that we have skipped throughout this process, say hi to Monroe, by the way. This is Tyler's grandfather. He's totally not a zombie. There's no zombies in this game. He's just, you know, kind of alive. Don't touch me. Unhand me.
Normal things happening.
And of course he's fine. We totally beat him the first time. JK, he flew off and is now over there.
If we don't stop him.
Oh, he's also
You
a
see it?
reindeer.
Yes, he can fly. Look at him. He's flying.
Awesome.
He has to fly through the bisexual lighting.
You know what? That is a way to introduce that someone is bi without saying it, is just launch them directly through the bisexual lighting.
Don't touch me. We got it.
Nice.
I was about to get pushed off of that trap. Okay, so this is a tricky fight. It's a gimmick fight. You have to walk around and push over the 3 crystals, but in each area there are ads. They are all horrible to deal with. This one, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep them close enough to this crystal that they're gonna get hit by this attack.
Nice.
And we missed one. We missed one.
You get back here. You get hit by
He's
the
still up. And we took a death.
Ooh. It's fine, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything's normal.
No, it's fine. This is only like 30-second time loss. But we took a death here because that enemy right there, that guy, didn't get hit by the crystal. This is the run killer fight. If you are grinding to care about your score in this game, that guy will become your nemesis.
I can't believe you're my friend.
Hannah, I desperately need you to not be talking about like friend stuff right now. Like, this is so not the time.
Yeah, Hannah, I'm busy. Luckily, this cycle seems to be doing better. I'm gonna hang out here. Don't touch me. I'm gonna yell at you so that way you're dead. Did you get beamed? Did you get beamed? You got beamed. Perfect.
Haha, get beamed.
Get beamed. You see? RNG here plays a huge difference because depending on how aggressive the enemies are in this room, it will impact your success in getting a quick cycle on that. This one's tricky. Again, we're gonna use crystal. Sometimes the timing of this one sucks. See, sometimes this No! Are we gonna... Oh!
Hey, you said this was an annoying gimmick fight, and I think it is proving its point.
So, do we see why the panic attack is risky? If we were not in a panic attack there, he would have simply thrown us, we would have got up, and it would have been fine. But because Jess was panicking, it was a one-hit kill. Risk reward. Every time.
I mean, this is how panic attacks work in real life. And definitely a way to help your panic attacks is think about the fact that if someone so much as touches you during a panic attack, you'll just die. That's what happens.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Alright, I'm gonna eat this for safety. Normally you don't want to eat the lavender, but I'm doing it. We're gonna kite them.
Delicious, delicious lavender.
Alright, please spin. Do the spinny! Do the spinaroonie! What are you doing? Wow, I'm getting punched in the face because it won't do its thing.
Come on, Beam, figure it out.
Yeah, we got a double death. The prismic science is so intense right now.
We are so
Alright, cycle 3. We're so prismic right now.
Your prisms will be mine.
Your prisms will be mine.
That's such a good line. The dialogue for this game is like...
And see, when it works, it works. This fight can be very quick and very easy. But,
Get going.
you know, enemies gotta cooperate with ya.
Okay.
You just did
Where
the
to
other
now?
2 deaths just so that you could show how difficult this fight was.
Yeah, that was strategic and on purpose to showcase the
I need to
beautiful
prepare the
animations and the hard work the developer did in making
But
them.
can you slow down a bit? That fight took a lot out of me.
Sorry. I just want to get out of this place.
Can you slow down? I'm tired.
save Kim.
No.
Maybe we can even save
I also
the
want to
others.
point out the bottoms of her feet are
Save the
pristine
others?
too.
The 3 of us are alive, Hannah.
She's blessed.
Let's just focus on Kim and get out of this place.
She'll be fine. It's almost over.
So, we are in the final section of tag. We're gonna play tag with Hannah for the rest of the game. Because guess what? Our bees are here. Our sister bees, they're here. Oh no.
Oh, the sister bees. I mean, you said we were going in the right direction if we saw the bees.
Difficult? I'm not being difficult. I never do
So-
anything to upset you.
That could work.
Yeah.
Normal things happening. Normal things happening in a normal game.
Yeah, this is perfectly normal vacation things. Not at all strange that there is a massive, deadly, spiritual salamander there.
Psyching yourself out, Hannah.
That's just normal. That happens on every vacation.
Trust him.
If you don't see him, that's a you problem and not an us problem.
I remember the first time I saw the spiritual salamander, and that's how I knew that I was really like maturing and growing as a person.
Yeah.
It's because I
Yeah,
didn't.
it's
like,
how you know.
I didn't need like anybody to point him out for me. It's really good and normal that there was a skeleton curled up in the fetal position next to the part of the key that you needed.
Yeah, that was me. I'm glad that you noticed my cameo in this game.
It's because you didn't need the
That-
ginger.
Yeah, it's because I didn't eat enough ginger. But no, realistically, the reason why we curled up in a fetal position is because we didn't eat enough lavender. On a casual playthrough, we would get far fewer hassles from the panic attacks because we would just be downing all this lavender we see around.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna encourage the panic attack here so that way we run slightly faster.
Is that Art of the Frogs that you
Why
just
did I trust
passed?
him?
Yes, it is. The bestiary of this game is really interesting and super cool because it's presented in chunks via little interactable objects like that, where in a little cabin or on the side of the trail or on a table somewhere, there'll just be a note with a sketch that is very much concept art from the dev team.
That's really
And like a
cool.
description of what the creature is, how it got that way, and what it can do.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Jess and Kim have each other.
I have a
Why?
final question to ask for everyone
Make it
here.
like it used to
Whether or
be.
not you've been here
I can bring
before,
everyone
whether
back.
you're just joined us. It's a very important question.
Save them all. They'll all love
Have you
me.
checked your
I
butthole?
won't have to be alone.
Check it right now, everybody.
Have you checked it? Have you washed it? Please do.
That last one, that's the real question. Please, everybody.
Jess here is filthy. Don't be like Jess.
No. I've seen a lot of organic products on this island. I have not seen soap.
Yeah, there's no soap, no shoes, no cell phones in sight, not a care in the world.
People living in the moment. I mean, listen, I think we can all safely assume that at this retreat, if they use any soap, it's 100% like Dr. Bronner's. Like,
And no, they're probably just using like borax and Arm & Hammer, you know?
mm-hmm.
Like, it's probably not even a distinct soap from whatever they use to wash their clothes. Assuming they even wash their clothes.
You made it.
I mean,
Yes. Are you sure you
Hannah
want to do
may
this?
wash hers.
Once we start, there's no turning back.
I love the
I'm ready,
lighting on
Hannah.
Hannah's hair here.
Right.
Yeah, it's
I'm ready to.
the only thing that it reminds me of, and I don't know how to explain this, is like The Sims. Like,
Yes. What, back when you could make the tips a different color?
yes.
Yes. Okay, final chase sequence. You'll notice here that I have a delayed input. Jess steps up and you have to wait like a second before it'll let you register. If you try to move before the game lets you move, you will not be able to move and you'll be stuck there longer than you need to.
Oh, great.
So this is a sequence where Hannah has all of the powers. She's assembled all of the pieces of Exodia. She is the duel master. And we now have to navigate her use of everyone's powers. So what she's doing right now is using Sunny's power to create obstacles. I'm taking it really wide on them because if you get too close to them, the hitbox will impale you and you will die.
Where did she go?
There's a very small skip you can get here. It saves a couple seconds. I'm gonna try to do it. You gotta dodge into her yell attack. We got the dodge!
Nice.
One thing went right today.
Jess wants to hold your beautiful children.
I don't want to hold your baby. I didn't want to hold it then. I don't want to hold it now.
I loved the line earlier that Sunny said of like, I think I know you. Your name is Jess, right? Why do I hate you?
Right? I don't know. Maybe it's because I murdered you a half an hour ago.
I enlightened
While you were vibing with your friend, the bug.
I enlightened you a half hour ago?
Hold my baby.
Yes, yes.
You want to hold my baby?
I told you there was more to
I do not want to hold her baby at all.
Can you just watch her real quick while I step into this store and then strike up a conversation with the cashier for the next 20 minutes?
So I mentioned Tyler would be having a really weird time.
He's fine.
Right? You think he's good?
Yeah, actually, I think that's like a really normal thing to be doing on this island. Actually, I think that's like a Tuesday occurrence.
Yeah, he's got a splitting headache right now.
That is a fantastic joke. I wish I had like a rim shot sound effect that I could just pull off for what you just
Now, if you get too close to these zombies on the ground, they will stagger you. If you get way too close to them, they will grab you. And if you're in a panic state while that happens, they will kill you. It sucks. If you're low on materials, you can go in there to grab all the things. I'm not going to go in there and grab all the things. We are simply going to go fight the final boss. Now, this can go extremely hairy if pattern is bad. But time will end when the fade up happens, when we defeat the final head. You'll know it's the final head because there will be bees. I'll also call it out when we get close. So as we can see, Hannah's attempt to revive all of the everyone using the power of prismic science has worked? Question mark?
potentially.
Because they sure are here. I want to point out that this bald dude right here that we're fighting is Tyler, and the bald one in the middle is Hannah. I don't know why they're bald. They just are.
Their hair just despawns.
Yeah, it despawns when they become part of whatever this is. Tyler, just die already. All right, we got him.
Normal things happening.
Where are they coming out? Over here.
There we go.
We got Maya.
You'll love it here, Jess. Stop fighting it. Oh my god. The dialogue.
She's gonna make babies.
Maya.
I don't want to hold your children, ma'am. Okay, we've got the green prism. I'm gonna eat mushroom and stand here to regain some sanity.
Because this is a sane experience to be having.
Yes, as long as you stand in the glyph, you should be fine. Kim's gonna yell at us. It's okay. It's mostly harmless as long as she doesn't push you to the edge of the arena where the crystals are. Because if she does push you into the crystals, you will die. You will get impaled.
Cool. That's healthy.
Now, here's the part where things can get a little tricky, right? We need to kill Hannah before she respawns someone else. She can do that. And she just did. She just respawned somebody. Oh, she brought back Maya. This could be worse, actually.
Out of all the people she could bring back, it's the one that wants me to hold her baby. Ugh.
You know what? I'm gonna hold her baby. in my heart, right next to all my spite.
Wow. That is so uncool that they put, like, the healing items directly underneath the impaling items. Thanks, designers.
Yeah. And so if you go over there while you're getting screamed at, you will absolutely just get schmurdered. Alright, we want the sage stick out because the final head is us.
Ooh.
And she will summon bees!
Bees!
Here's the thing about the bees, right? If you don't dispel the bees, you'll just die immediately. The bees will grab you while she's doing stuff.
Great. I can't tell. You don't have hair either.
And time. That's time. That's the run.
GG.
Thank you.
Fantastic job. Fantastic.
What's the timer say? Can I ask?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. 137.57.
You know, that's still really good. That's only 2 minutes off of my PB.
Nice. With 2 deaths.
With 2 deaths and really bad boss fights. It's me. So that really shows you how much the power of solid lines, knowing where you're going, and making the right pickups is. Like, that's where all your time is on this game. Because deaths don't really matter. There are places where taking a death can really hurt you, but there are places where it really can't. But yeah, that's the chant. We're about to see the body ending and what happens when you don't embrace spiritual change. I regret to inform you, chat, the bees don't go away.
Wow.
The bees are a part of your life now, and you must make peace with that. Arguably, this is the best ending. Because this is what happens with trauma, right? You just sort of live with it, and you learn to make the best of it. You don't go back in time to the 70s and start a cult. You don't disappear forever. You just do your best.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's all we can ask of you.
That's a really beautiful perspective to have. And we won't acknowledge that there's just the bees.
Yeah, but you know, they're just there, they're vibing, they're making sure that everything's pollinated. Bees are a vital part of our ecosystem, and they are not our enemy.
Ah, so true.
So true. And that's the run. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can we find you, BigScared?
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/BigScared. I am on a lot of other platforms as either BigScared or I'm BigScared, all one word, no punctuation.
Awesome. And thank you so much for that. Do you have anything else that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my stream team, the Clock Tower. A bunch of the folks who are on the team are in chat today. Garlips, who has been an absolute minch. I love him. He picked up the game because I picked it up, and we've been learning it together. It's been fantastic. I want to thank Satori Earth, the world record holder, for giving me really good advice and feedback on my runs that have got it to where it is now. And I want to thank Lady Arcaders for having me. Y'all are a really great community, and I really appreciate being part of it.
Yeah, Lady Arcaders are amazing. And speaking of the Lady Arcaders, if you do want to see more of this, or who are the Lady Arcaders, this is an all-women's gaming collective. We welcome all women in gaming, so speedrunners, developers, casual fans, and in addition to our cozy little private community, we run weekly showcases on this Twitch channel right here, as well as larger charity events throughout the year. Hint, hint, there might be one coming up soon.
Before we get out of here, Jaypeg, where can we find you?
Yeah, if you would like to find me, I stream sporadically on twitch.tv/jpeg_exe. If you really want to find me, though, you can always find me on Twitter at also Jaypeg, just the word also, and then Jaypeg. And I'm probably posting something cursed. So you can find me in either of those two places. But we are going to head into intermission here for a minute. So just wait around for some last announcements. But thank you so much for being here, BigScared. This was such a cool run and such a cool game. So thank you for sharing this with us and imparting all of your spiritually enlightened knowledge.
I hope all of you learned something and grew today.
I think we all did. Okay, everybody, I think that you might be able to put your shoes back on. We have left the island, so you are free to do that. Or you can take your spiritually enlightened self and keep your shoes off for a little bit longer. But thank you for that amazing, amazing run again, Big Scared. That was the Chant any percent. Just absolutely fantastic job. Another fantastic session of Attract Mode. But if you want to see this again, so our next time, have you ever wanted to learn a speed run? Maybe you're new to it or you want to learn something new. Now you can. So our next one on Thursday, May 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern, Metroid Crime, our very own fearless leader, will be teaching Eliza how to run speedrun VVV glitchless any percent live on stream. So really an expert teaching another absolutely fantastic person. So that is going to be a bucket of fun. It's going to be so amazing. And speaking of speedruns, SGDQ 2023 is coming up next week. We have a number of members of Lady Arcaders on the schedule, and we will be keeping you updated on social media for those run times and who those amazing Lady Arcaders are. So if you can check that out, make sure that you're following us on Twitter, and we will keep you posted so that you can cheer them on. We're going to do a raid now, so if you want to stick around, we are going to be heading over to Speedrunmizer, which is a charity event benefiting the Trevor Project. Speedrunners submit runs and games, and then they all get shuffled around, so they have to learn a new one. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please hang around so that we can go support them as well. And everybody, thank you so much for watching. Again, I have been your host, Jaypeg, and I want you all to have a great spiritually enlightened and shoeless, or, maybe not shoeless, your choice Sunday. All right, have a great day, everybody.